Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about electrical machines. This is one of the subject you are studying in this semester. Before we start learning about electrical machines, we must know why we are studying in this subject. For that, we know we are using electricity in our daily life. We must know how it is produced and where it is produced and how it is transformed from one place to another place and how it is utilized by us. Where it is produced, there is lot of power stations are there: thermal power station, hydropower station, wind energy, solar energy. These are all produces electrical energy. These energies are generated with the help of a generator, produced with the help of generator. What does mean for generator? Generator is a machine which converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. And how it is transformed to the user? It is transformed by the transmission line with the help of transformers. Transformer is a device, static device, which it transfers electric power from one circuit to another circuit without changing frequency. And then everybody use motors in our daily life. How it works? It receives electric power and it starts rotating. That means it converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. These are all the main things we are studying in this subject. Next, in this subject is split into 5 units. One is DC generator, the next one is DC motor, and then single phase transformer, and then the fourth unit is 3-phase transformer, and the fifth unit is single phase motor. These are all the things we are studying in this subject. Next, before we start learning about electrical machines, we must know the magnetic flux. Few important definitions. What is magnetic flux? The electrical machines mainly based on the magnetic effect. Therefore, we are studying these terms. All electrical machines works on the principle of Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. That is, we are studying in the next. Before we start studying about Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction or whatever it is, we must know few important terms, that is magnetic flux. What is magnetic flux? These are all the magnetic flux lines. This red color line and this blue color line shows the magnetic fluxes. That means it is an imaginary line, it is not visible to us. In this slide, we are seeing two different types of magnets. One is permanent magnet and the other one is electromagnet. Permanent magnet means there is no sources of energy applied to this magnet. It automatically produces flux lines and it travels from north pole to south pole without application of any external sources. In this permanent magnet, we never change the amount of flux lines. It is an imaginary line. It is not visible to our eyes, and it is identified by us by its the attraction and repulsion behavior. This is the flux lines or magnetic fields, and it is represented by a symbol pi, and its unit is Weber. And this is electromagnet. What is electromagnet? In our machines, electrical machines, we must control these flux lines. For that, we are using the electromagnet instead of permanent magnet. What is electromagnet? You just consider a iron core. In that, we are wounding the copper coil, and it is connected with the supply. By applying the supply, then if you are applying the supply, then the current flows through the coil. Means the core energizes. The core gets energizes and it converted into a magnet, and it produces flux, and it travels from its north pole to south pole. One portion of the core is act as a north pole, and then the another portion of the core is act as a south pole. Then the flux travel from north pole to south pole. Likewise, the electromagnet is produced. Why we are using electromagnet in machines means, because of our needs, we must control these flux lines. That is why we are using electromagnet instead of permanent magnets. In few applications, we are using permanent magnets also. We will see everything in the subject. Okay. What is magnetic flux? The space around the electromagnet or region around the permanent magnet is occupied by the lines of forces or lines of fluxes is called magnetic flux or magnetic field, and it is represented by a symbol pi. The magnetic field is represented by the imaginary lines of forces, and its unit is Weber. Okay. Next, we must know magnetic flux density. What is magnetic flux density? We know, if we are considering a magnet or electromagnet, means it is surrounded by the lines of magnetic field. It is an imaginary line, but it covers particular area. That means the flux density means flux per unit area, and it is represented by B, that is equal to pi by A, flux per unit area. That means its unit is Weber per meter square or Tesla. Okay. Next one is magnetomotive force. What is magnetomotive force? The force which establishes magnetic flux in the magnetic circuit is called magnetomotive force. It is produced by the electric current passes through the coil. And it is found by using the formula number of turns into current flows through the coil. The magnetomotive force is found by the number of turns in the coil, and then the current flows through the coil. Okay, the unit of magnetomotive force is ampere turns. Ampere represents unit of current and the turns, number of turns in the coil. Okay. Next one, reluctance. The property of the material which opposes the magnetic establishment of magnetic flux in the magnetic circuit is called a reluctance. And it is calculated by using the formula mmf by pi, that is equal to Ni by pi, and its unit is ampere turns divided by Weber. Okay, next one, magnetic field intensity or magnetizing force or magnetic field strength. The magnetomotive force per unit length is called magnetic field intensity. Okay, the magnetomotive force per unit length of the magnetic circuit is called the magnetic field intensity, and it is denoted by Ni by L. Ni represents magnetomotive force divided by length, and it is represented by, and its H and its unit is 80 ampere turns divided by meter. Next one, we are going to discuss about Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. It states two law. One is, any change in the magnetic field of a coil of wire will cause an EMF to be induced in the coil. That means if you are considering a magnet like this, one is north pole and the another one is south pole, means the flux travels from north pole to south pole like this. Between this, I just placing a conductor between this conductor or coil. I just placing a conductor or copper coil, and I starts rotating in this in clockwise direction. Rotating the coil in clockwise direction means it cuts the flux lines. The coil will cut the flux lines, and there is a flux variation occurs. That means an EMF is induced in this conductor. That is the first law. Any change in the magnetic field of a coil of wire will cause an EMF to be induced in it. It is also defined like this. Whenever a conductor rotating, whenever a conductor rotating in a magnetic field, it cuts the flux lines and EMF is induced in it. This is the law 1. You must write without any mistake because statement is very, very important. Next, law 2. What is law 2? The magnitude of induced EMF in the coil is equal to the rate of change of flux linkages with the coil. What is law 2? The magnitude of induced EMF in the coil. The magnitude of EMF induced in this coil is proportional to the rate of change of flux linkages. That means flux variations. How much amount of fluxes are cut by the conductor. That is the flux variations, and the induced EMF is proportional to this rate of change of flux linkages. What is law 2? The magnitude of induced EMF is proportional to the rate of change of flux linkages with the coil. Next one, the equation of Faraday's law. The equation of Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Okay. Before we start studying this, you first see this diagram. Here we are considering one electromagnet. Not like that. We are considering a iron core. And it is wound by the coil, and the two ends of the coil is connected with the galvanometer, and then one permanent magnet is moving towards the coil. If it is in this position, the galvanometer reads 0 and it moves towards the coil, means the galvanometer moves in clockwise direction, and it moves away from the coil means it reads, and it moves in, the galvanometer moves in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, that means if you are placing a magnet away from the coil, means there is no EMF is induced in it. If it is very closer, means it cuts the maximum flux lines, therefore maximum amount of EMF is induced. Therefore galvanometer shows positive direction. If it moves away, means the flux linkages is reduced, that means less amount of flux is EMF is induced in it. That is represented here. Now we are considering two positions. One is at time t1. At time t1, the flux linkage with this coil, the flux linked with this coil is equal to pi 1. At time t2, the flux linked with this coil is pi 2. We are taking these two positions. Now derive the EMF equation. Consider the induced EMF at time t1 and t2. From figure A, the total flux linkages is equal to n into pi 1, number of turns into amount of flux linked with that turns, that is n into pi 1. From figure B, the total amount of flux linkages with the coil is equal to, at time t2 is equal to n into pi 2. That means the change in the flux linkages between these two time period means the change in flux linkage is equal to n into pi 2 minus n into pi 1. That means the number of turns in the coils are same, therefore the flux variation pi is equal to pi 2 minus pi 1. Therefore the change in flux linkages will be equal to n into pi. Then the induced EMF is represented by the rate proportional to the rate of change of flux linkages. Law 2 states that the induced EMF is proportional to the rate of change of flux linkages. That means now the rate of change of flux linkages means the change in flux d pi. The change in flux is represented by d pi, and the change in time is represented by dt. So d pi is equal to change in flux linkages n into pi, and the change in time t is equal to t2 minus t1. The rate of change of flux linkages or induced EMF is equal to n into number of turns of the coil into rate of change of flux linkages d pi by dt. This is the induced EMF. The rate of change of flux linkages or induced EMF of the coil is equal to n into d pi by dt. We must know the significance occurs due to Lenz's law. According to Lenz's law, the Lenz law states that the induced EMF opposes the causes produced is. Therefore, the induced EMF is represented by negative sign. The rate of change of flux linkages or induced EMF will be equal to minus n into d pi by dt due to Lenz's law. Okay, what is Lenz's law? The every action is equal to the opposite reaction. According to Lenz's law, the induced EMF will opposes the causes produced it. Okay, that therefore E is equal to minus n into d pi by dt. The Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction plays important role in our machines because all the machines operates in this Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction principle. All of you must know what is Faraday's law and the two definitions specified in that law 1 and law 2, and then we must know the derivation of Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Thank you, students. This is the first class for your machines subject. If all of you must provide your comment, feedback about this class, then only I know your expectations from me. Okay, students, if you like this, please subscribe this. Thank you. If you face any difficulties, you must ask me by providing comments, and also I provide one quiz game link with this description box. All of you must attend that quiz after listening this class. That is, revise your subject. That helps you to memorize your subject easily. Thank you, students.